Hello dear friends, welcome to Humble Mark Academy. In this video guys, we shall be looking at the correction of the National Higher Polytechnic Institute examination, the 2018, the mathematics section guys, the first 10 questions. So guys, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button looking at you guys, because I can only help you to pass your exams with very good grades once you subscribe to my channel guys. And if you're entering this school for your first time, the National Higher Polytechnic Institute, that is the Naphi, I shall make sure I help you to get into that school guys, because the competition is very competitive, and I'm going to be telling you guys all the hints and tricks you can always use to get into that school. So guys, my name is Umenju Macarius. My Christian name guys is Macarius. Let's get started friends. Excellent guys, the question 1 of the 2018 is saying that the gradient of the tangent of the curve y equal to e raised to the power 2x minus 3 e raised to the power negative x at the point where x equal to 0 is. Okay, so guys, we should recall that the gradient of tangent is simply gotten from the gradient function. Great. And guys, to get the gradient function, all we need to do is to differentiate y with respect to x and substitute x equal to 0 into our gradient function. By so doing guys, we have the curve y equals to e raised to the power 2x minus 3 e raised to the power negative x. If we differentiate guys, we are going to have divided by the x will be the same. Like we differentiate e raised to the power 2x, we are going to have e raised to the power 2x stays the same. Then the derivative of the power, which is 2x, the derivative of 2x is 2, so we multiply by 2 guys, and we do the same for minus 3 e raised to the power negative x. Guys, I made a video on differentiation, so guys, I will leave a link to that video in the description of this video for your convenience guys. Make sure you watch the video from start to finish. By that, you're going to understand the entire concept about differentiation involved. So guys, in this examination, the examiners will never forget to include a calculus based problem. They will never forget guys, so make sure you watch that video. All right guys, if we differentiate e raised to the power negative x, we are going to have negative e raised to the power negative x, but the negative and this negative gives us what? Positive. So that's why we have this now. That therefore means that guys, at the point where x becomes 0, we are never going to have divided by the x to be the same, like we put everywhere to be everywhere we see x with 0. Keep in mind that anything raised to the power 0 is 0. That therefore implies if we simplify, we are going to have the answer to be 5. Great. So guys, option A is the best option for this our answer. Great. All right. Then guys, question 2 is saying that the function f is defined on the set of real numbers by f of x equal to k plus 3x over 2 plus x. The value of k for which f is an even function is. All right guys, these are the options that they've given us. All right. So guys, we should recall that generally speaking, if a function such as f is an even function guys, that therefore implies f of negative x has to be the same like what? F of x. Great. So guys, keep in mind that this is f of x, right? To get f of negative x, we are going to substitute everywhere we see x with negative x. By so doing, if we equate the two of them, we are going to have k plus 3 into negative x, that is for f of negative x, over 2 plus negative x equal to k plus 3x over 2 plus x. If we cross multiply guys, we are going to have 2k plus kx minus 6x minus 3x squared equal to 2k plus 6x minus kx minus 3x squared. There is a 2k on the left hand, on the right hand side, it's a 2k on the left hand side, they can cancel. There is a negative 3x squared on the left hand side, there is also negative 3x squared on the right hand side, so they can cancel. If we combine like terms guys, we are definitely going to have negative 12x equal to negative kx. We divide all through by negative 2x, we are going to see our k to be 6. Great. So guys, option A is still the best option for this our question. Great. All right. So guys, let's look at question 3. Question 3 is saying that a car accelerates from 12 meters per second to 18 meters per second in 4 seconds. The distance covered by the car in this time is. All right. So guys, there are a number of ways in which we can answer this same question. There are a number of ways, but the best way in which I will recommend all of you guys to do is to start by getting the acceleration of the car. After getting the acceleration, now since we know the initial velocity of the car and we know the final velocity and the time taken, we can have the distance covered in less than no time. So guys, but for then let's collect our data, our u. which the initial velocity is 12 meters per second, and our v, that's the final velocity, is 18 meters per second, and the time taken is what? 4 seconds. Great. It therefore means that, guys, if we use one of the equations of uniformly accelerated motion, such as v equals to u plus at, it therefore implies, guys, if we make our a the subject, we are going to have our a to be same like v minus u over t. Our v is 18, our u is 12. 18 minus 12, guys, is what? 6, right? Great. Then 6 over the time, which is 4, is a common factor. 2 can cancel, so we are going to have 3 over 2 meters per second squared. Keep in mind that acceleration is measured in meters per second squared. Great. That therefore implies, guys, since we have the acceleration of the car, that is its exact value, we can also use the equation of motion such as v squared equal to u squared plus 2as. So, guys, if we simplify everything, our v is 18, u is 12. If we square both of them and make our s the subject, we are going to have s to be same like 180 over 2 times the acceleration, but 2 times 3 over 2 simply gives us what? 3. So we have it here. So, guys, we simplify further, we are going to have our answer to be 60 meters. So option D is the right option for this particular question. Great. That's it. So, guys, the question 4 is saying that the sum of the first n terms of a series is given by Sn equal to 5n squared plus 2n. The nth term of the series is, all right, these are the options that they've given us. Great. All right, friends, for us to be able to get the nth term of this our series, we need to understand that the nth term, that is Tn, is simply given as what, guys? Sn minus 1. Okay, that's the theory in which you are supposed to have. So many people are just going to be to tell me that 5n squared plus 2n is the nth term. Guys, keep in mind that 5n squared plus n is simply, so, guys, generally for an arithmetic progression, all right, so, guys, let me now tell you guys, because the question did not specify if this is an arithmetic progression or it's a geometric progression. Now, guys, what you may need to, the hint you may need to take into account before you can be able to determine if it's an AP or a GP is just for the fact that you can factor out n from the expression, right? Since there's a common factor of n, it can already tell you that this our sum is what? A geometric sum. Great. So, guys, generally for an arithmetic progression, our nth term, which you can call that Tn, is given as Sn minus 1. Great. Keep in mind that we have Sn already, which is 5n squared plus 2n, right? It therefore implies we need to get Sn minus 1, right? That therefore means that Sn minus 1, that turns out to be, we are going to come under where we have Sn and put everywhere we see n with n minus 1. So we are going to have 5 into n minus 1 squared plus 2 into n minus 1. If we simplify that correctly, guys, we are therefore going to have Sn minus 1 to be same like 5n squared minus 8n plus 3. Guys, that therefore implies our Tn now, which is what we have been asked to find. From this, our relation is called to what? Sn minus 1. What is Sn, guys? It is 5n squared plus 2n minus Sn minus 1, guys, is simply what? 5n squared minus 8n plus 3. If we simplify that correctly, guys, we are going to have our answer Tn to be 10n minus 3. Great. So, guys, the right option here is option B, right? Great. Option B is the right answer. So, guys, don't forget to like the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you want to have more great content from us, guys. And if you want the next video, guys, make sure you leave a word. Make sure you let me know in the comment section below. I'm going to do that right away once I see that comment. Great. Now, friends, the question 5 is saying that the asymptotes of the curve y equal to x into x minus 5 squared over x plus 5 into x minus 3 is, all right, these are the answers that they've given us. So, guys, for us to get the asymptotes of this our curve, all we need to start is, because the question wants us to get all the asymptotes, all the asymptotes. From the look of things, guys, we can easily start by getting the vertical asymptotes only from the domain of definition, right? As such, guys, since this is a fractional function, it therefore implies to get the domain of definition, all we need to do, we can start by simplifying the top. If we expand the top, we are therefore going to have x cubed minus 10x squared plus 25x. Now, guys, to get the vertical asymptotes, all we have to do is to make sure that the denominator of this our function should not be 0. That therefore implies, guys, our x should not be equal to -5 and our x should not be equal to 3. So we can conclude that the line x equal to -5 and the line x equal to 3 are what? Are vertical asymptotes. Great. Now, guys, since we have the vertical asymptotes and the degree of the numerator is more than that of the denominator, we can also conclude that this our curve has no horizontal asymptote. Now, guys, it has what? It has a slant asymptote. Okay, it has a slant asymptote, and that slant asymptote, guys, can is in this case must be a line. Okay, it must be a line and not a function. So if you look at the options now, guys, we have x equal to 3, x equal to -5. That could be good, but friends, the line y equal to 5 in this case cannot be our slant asymptote. Okay, the slant asymptote in this case has to be an equation. Wait, has to be a linear equation, guys, for that matter, a linear equation. So, and we can clearly see that the coefficient of x cubed is what, guys? 1, right? Great, it is 1. So the slant asymptote in that case now has to have a coefficient of x to be 1. Great. So if you look at option A, cannot be our correct answer. Option B has even had the vertical asymptote wrong, so it can never be. Option C, we have this. So, guys, the best option that we could take can be option C. Okay, we can rather take either options. We can take option C. Yeah, great. Though the question had some issues, because to get a slant asymptote, you simply have to do long division. By doing long division, the answer you get at the top is simply the slant asymptote. That is y equals to the answer is simply your slant asymptote. The equation, that is the linear equation of your slant asymptote. Great. All right. So, guys, question 6 is saying that A and B are independent events such that the probability of A is equal to 1/3, probability of A union B is equal to 2/3. Now they want us to get the probability of B. All right. So now, friends, we should know that generally for any event A and B, it therefore implies, guys, the probability of A union B is equal to what? The probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A intersection B. Now, friends, this is a condition for general events. Okay, general events. This is the condition that is for if A and B are two events. Now, guys, the clue of this our question is that, guys, independent events, right? If two events are independent, it therefore means that the probability of A intersection B has to be something like what, guys? The probability of A times the probability of B. If we substitute probability of A intersection B equal to probability of A times probability of B into this our expression, this our formula simply translates now into the probability of A union B, which is what we have. That's 2/3. Then, guys, the probability of A, all we know to be what? 1/3, plus the probability of B, which is our unknown. Then, guys, minus the probability of A, which is 1/3 probability of B. So if you sum up probability of B, guys, we are going to have that to be 1/2. Great. So option C in this case is our correct answer. Great. Now, guys, the question 7 is saying that the expansion of 2 plus 3x raised to the power -1 is valid for. All right. So these are the options that they've given us. So, friends, all I want us to know is that generally, if we have a binomial expansion such as 1 plus minus x raised to the power n, guys, as long as we are able to have 1 here, right, 1, it therefore means that this our expansion is valid whenever the absolute value of x is less than 1. Great. So, guys, this is simply the radius of convergence of this our binomial expansion. Okay, it is simply the radius of convergence. Great. So, guys, this is our expression. That is, we have 2 plus 3x raised to the power -1, guys. If we factor out a 2, we are going to have 2 into, we have 1 plus 3x over 2. If we try to multiply everything out, we are going to have the same expression, right? Keep in mind that 2 is a constant, so we can simplify things to have 2 raised to the power negative 1 into 1 plus 3x over 2 raised to the power negative 1. We are able now to express this, our expansion, in this form, right? Because we have a 1 here. Our x in this case is simply what? 3x over 2. It therefore implies, guys, based on this our radius of convergence, it therefore means that this expression now is valid whenever 3x over 2, that's the absolute value of 3x over 2, guys, is less than 1. If we use our knowledge of inequalities that we know, it therefore implies we are going to have negative 1 being between 3x over 2 less than 1. If we multiply all through by 2 and divide by 3, we are going to have negative 2 over 3 less than x less than 2 over 3. Quick. This is the option that we need. So guys, you can see that option A and option D, they are both the same, right? I'm sure it was a mistake with the question. So in such a case, guys, you can choose any of them. So option A or option D, guys, we can take any of them, but let's just take option D. Yeah, option D, good. All right, guys, question 8 is saying that when f of x equal to 2x cubed plus x squared minus 13x plus 6 is divided by 2x minus 1, the remainder is, all right, so they want us to get the remainder of this. So guys, now according to the remainder theorem that we know, if 2x minus 1 is a factor, or better still is divided with 2x squared plus x squared minus 13x plus 3, it therefore means that if this guy leaves a remainder, if our 2x cubed, or better still, guys, if our f of x leaves a remainder when divided with 2x minus 1, it therefore implies, guys, that what? That f of 1/2, okay, that is when we put 2x minus 1 equal to 0, we are going to have 1/2, right? Therefore means that f of 1/2 has to give us what? R. Where is our R, guys? Is the remainder. Great. So guys, it therefore means that our f of 1/2 now simply becomes, we are going to put everywhere we see x be 1/2, we are going to have 2 into 1/2 cubed plus 1/2 squared minus 13 into 1/2 plus 6. Guys, if you simplify that correctly, we are going to have our answer to be 0. Great. It becomes 0. So we can conclude that 2x minus 1 is a factor of this our polynomial, right? Great. So guys, the right option here is going to be option D. Great. All right. So guys, let's go to the next slide and look at question 9 and question 10. Let's go, guys. Great. Option 9, the question 9 is saying that the magnitude of the resultant of the forces F1 equal to 5I plus 12J newtons, F2 equal to negative 18I minus 8J newtons, F3 equal to 4I plus 9J newtons, F4 equal to 4I minus 5J newtons is, all right, so these are the options that they've given us, guys. Are the options. Here are the options. All right. So guys, what do you think we can do in this case? Guys, option 9 and option 10, identify them to be those questions where they made a lot of errors there. Okay, now guys, for us to be able to get the magnitude of the resultant force, all we have to do is to start by guessing the resultant force first, then we can therefore get the magnitude. Now guys, so guys, generally, if our R is a resultant force, it therefore implies what, guys? This our R has to be the same like what? The sum of all the various forces that we have. It therefore implies, guys, our R simply becomes what? F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus F4. Our F1, guys, what, guys, is 5I, right, plus 12J and so on. F2 to F4, they follow in that same light. So if we add up everything, guys, if we add up our F1, that is adding the I components to I components and J components to J components. If we add up everything, guys, we are going to have our R to be the same like negative 5I plus 8J, good, in newtons. It therefore implies, guys, the magnitude of R has to be what? The square root of the sum of squares of the individual components. So we are going to have negative 5 squared, that's in the square root, plus 8 squared, great. So guys, if we simplify correctly, guys, we are going to have our answer to be what? The square root of 89, great. I'll consider what this is not among the various options, right? It is not among, guys. It therefore means that the question had some mistakes, okay? It has some mistakes, great. All right, guys, let's look at question 10. Question 10 is saying that the values of x that satisfies the equation 2x minus 10 into 3 raised to the power 2x plus 1 plus 3 raised to the power 4 equal to 0 are. So guys, this problem as well had a mistake, okay? It had a mistake, but we are just going to solve it as how we see it. So that's the problem in which we have, guys. At this point now, we are going to split what this our fraction is saying. We are going to have 3 raised to the power 2x minus 10 into, we are going to split it. We have 3 into 3 raised to the power 2x plus 3 raised to the power 4. Wait. So now, guys, we can discover that we have 1 3 raised to the power 2x, and we have what, guys? We have 30 3 raised to the power 2x. If we subtract these two, guys, we are never going to have what, guys? Great. If we subtract them, so we are going to have negative 29 into 3 raised to the power 2x plus 3 raised to the power 4 equal to 0. If we send 3 raised to the power 4 over to the right hand side, we are therefore going to have negative 29 into 3 raised to the power 2x plus 81 equal to 0. So when we send this guy to the right hand side and we divide by negative 29, we are going to have 3 raised to the power 2x equal to 81 over 27 over 29. Sorry. That therefore implies, guys, at this point in time, if we take the natural logarithm on both sides, we are therefore going to have the natural log of 3 raised to the power 2x equal to natural log of 81 over 29. According to our log property, when we take a natural logarithm on both sides, we can simply shift the power and put it over to the front, right? It therefore implies we are going to have 2x natural log of 3x equal to natural log of 81 over 29. If we divide all by natural log of 3 times 2, we are going to have our x to be the same like 1 over 2 ln 3 natural log of 81 over 29. Great. So guys, it doesn't resemble any of the options, right? So guys, that's it for our video today. That's it, guys. If you love the video, like I said, guys, just give it a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to have all information about our latest content, guys. We upload contents in our channel, guys, every day, guys, every day, and you can't afford to miss. You can only have access to all the great contents once you have subscribed to the channel, guys. Thank you very much and have a blessed day.